So up next, we need to configure some environment variables. To bring up the environment variables, this varies from one version of Windows to another, but we usually go through the control panel. So I'm going to load up my control panel. And under control panel, I'm going to go to System and Security, then System. And on this page, there's an Advanced System Settings link that I'll click on. Since I'm doing Windows 7, that's the way I got there, as indicated here. And we want to go to the Advanced tab and click on Environment Variables. So this gives us this dialog we're working on. Let me scroll this document down to the next page. All right, so here's the variables we need to deal with. First of all, we need to configure system variables. So let me find my environment variables. They're in the background over here. All right, so system variables, not user, but system. So the buttons we're going to click on are these buttons down below system variables. And we need to set up a variable called Java Home. So I don't believe I have one of those already, and if I do, it might be from before. So let me actually clean out anything that might be in here from previous times I've tested this out. I had run through this once before. Let me see if I have a Java Home. I don't believe I do. Okay, so I'm going to do a new, and I'll type in Java_home. And for the value, this is the installation location of Java. So in my case, I put it on the C drive under Program Files, Java, or that's where it automatically went. And it's JDK 160_45. So there we go. So that's my Java Home. And your value might be a little different depending upon what version of Java you installed. We also need to configure an ant home. So new system variable, ant home. And again, this is going to be the installation location of ant. So Apache Ant 192 on the C drive is where I put it. We'll add that as the variable value. Click OK. And we need yet another one for Android home. And this is the location of where the ADT bundle is, but more specifically that ADT bundle /SDK. So again, I'm just going to go to my C drive, ADT bundle SDK, copy that location, and that's my Android home. So those three have been configured. And again, I should probably mention, with both the Ant home and the Android home, those values might be a little different depending upon what platform, what version you have installed. So don't just take the numbers right here out of the PDF, but rather look at your installation and use the appropriate values. Okay, finally it says we want to modify. We need to change an existing variable, the path variable. And we're going to add 3 entries to the very beginning. We're going to prepend the values. One of the key things about configuring environment variables is there's no spaces allowed. Or if you do put spaces in, you need to comma separate them. So I'm going to take these values they want us to put into the path, and I'm going to just temporarily put these into like a notepad window, just so I have somewhere to type into and to work with here, or to copy into. Okay, so %Java Home %\bin semicolon Ant Home bin semicolon Android Home Tools and Android Home Platform Tools. I'm doing an extra visual here just to make sure I didn't end up with any spaces in that, which I do not. So I'll copy that, Control C. I'm going to find my path environment variable. Here's path. Click Edit. And the best thing here is to do this at the beginning of the path. So go to the front. I'll actually hit the home key on my keyboard to go to the front of the path, and we paste this in. So again, I want to verify that after I paste that, there's a semicolon but no space before whatever was already there. So don't go ahead and replace everything in the path with these values. Instead, prepend that. What I'm getting at is path already has stuff in it. You don't want to lose that. Instead, we want to take whatever's there, I'll click the home key, and put our stuff in front of what's already there. Okay, okay, and okay. And we should be good with those. And just to be sure that those worked, I suppose one of the things I could do is open up a command prompt. So I'll click on Start, All Programs, Accessories, Command Prompt. I know that's off your visual view there. I've got 2 monitors going here, but it's under Start, All Programs, Accessories, Command Prompt. That's how I pulled up this window. If I type in java-version, java space hyphen version, 16045, that's good. Java C-version, Java compiler, again it's version 160_45. If I type in the word ant, A-N-T, it tells me the build XML does not exist. That's good. That means that it was looking for something that Ant knew what it was knew about, this build XML thing. And for Android, I could type in ADT, I think. Nope. Let me make sure. Let me get this right here. Platform Tools, ADB. Sorry about that. ADB. Android Developer Tools is ADT. Debug Bridge is ADB. And it gave me something. It gave me a bunch of notes as to how to use ADB. That's good enough for me. That means it found that configuration. If you ever see something, well, like when I typed ADT, if it says is not recognized, either you typed it in wrong, like I did ADT, or the paths aren't configured correctly. So if you do a Java-version, it says Java is not recognized, go double check your environment variable settings. If you have to fix environment variables, you need to restart the command prompt before those take effect. Okay, so what else is left to do? The last part is we need to set up the Android SDK. So under the Android home location, we need to run Sdk Manager.exe. So under ADT bundle, there's the Sdk Manager. Double click on that and it loads up a graphical user interface here where we can install additional tools into Android or into our Android installation. According to our instructions here, step number 2, we need to expand the tools node and make sure the Sdk Platform Tools are installed. So under Tools, Sdk Platform Tools, yes, they are installed. We're in a good place there, as our SDK tools and as our build tools. So we shouldn't have to mess with that any further. It says we should expand the Android 422, and we need to click on Sdk Platform and ARM EABI system image. Here's the deal. When we recorded these videos, when we put together this course, Android 4.2.2 was the latest and greatest. And so just to make sure that what you're doing matches what we're doing, we recommend you code to Android 4.2.2. You don't need to install everything here, but we do need the SDK platform and the ARM EABI. You'll probably be okay using Android 4.3 or even something more recent. Likely it'll be fine, but just to be super safe, we do recommend you install this version, API 17. It looks like it also wants to update something in the system image for 18. That's fine. It's not going to hurt any if it updates. It also says go look under the extras node. So down here's extras, and make sure the Android support library is installed. It is installed for me. That's fine. It also, I believe, wants to install the Google USB driver. That's fine. That won't hurt any. But we definitely need the support library. All right. Click the Install Packages button. So we'll install those packages, and we'll have to agree to the license, install, and this will take a few minutes while it downloads anything it needs to add into our Android development tools. So I'll pause the video. I'll be right back, and we'll complete this installation video. Well, folks, it looks like the packages are done loading, so all the installation's complete. So I can simply close the Android SDK Manager. So what have we done? Well, we've installed Java. We did the Java installation. We unzipped Ant. We unzipped the ADT bundle. Hopefully you found your class files, your student files, and you put those on your desktop. We also set up some environment variables, Java Home, Ant Home, and Android Home. Those were new variables most likely, and we appended some values to the path, the existing path environment variable. Actually prepended some values. Finally, we ran the SDK Manager and installed some Android API 17 libraries. That way you can be working on the same version that we worked on.